Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're doing a clean and organize with me. I'm starting off in the dining room and I'm going to get this table all cleared off. Today's video is sponsored by Cricut and we are going to work on my laundry basket system, the new organization that I have for the kids' laundry that's been saving me hours each week. So I'm really excited to get that finished off. It has been working so well. We've been using it for the past 2 months. I'll talk about it a little bit more later when we get into the project, but just so excited to finally be making it cute. So we're in the dining room now. I'm getting it all cleared off, all of the breakfast crumbs wiped up. If you guys are cleaning along with me today, I would love it if you leave a comment down below and let us know what you're working on. If you have young kids, then you are probably also very familiar with this situation under the dining room table. We actually, in our old house, used to have carpet underneath the dining room table, and it was such a nightmare. I don't know why people do that. I'll admit it's much easier now we've got this vinyl to be able to clean under here, but it just always amazes me how quickly like crumbs and little bits of like colored pencils and crayons and paper, everything adds up. I guess to be fair, we do have our wood stove right there, right on the left. And so it does make, a lot of dust and wood chips and things like that too. But if you've got young kids, you know this struggle here of under the dining room table. Now that we've got our workspace all clean, I'm going to go ahead and grab the baskets and we can get started on our fun organization project for today. So if you guys have seen my past Clean With Me videos recently, you'd know we have been trialing out this new system of instead of mixing all of the kids' clothes just in one laundry hamper, which is what I have done for years, I separated the kids' clothes. So they only put their own clothes in their own personal laundry hamper. At first I thought this might take up too much room, or maybe they would get mixed up, or maybe it would just add complication and taking up space. But honestly, this has been the smartest thing I have ever done in a routine in my home. Separating these out literally saves hours each week. I only wash, that kid's clothes with their own clothes from just their basket, and then it takes away the sorting. So it's just 100% would recommend it. But when I made these baskets, when I labeled them originally, I just used some Sharpie, and as you can see, it really smudged. So today I'm just using a paper towel with a high concentration alcohol to get that off. Pretty much as soon as I wrote these labels, I immediately regretted it because I don't love my handwriting personally, and it just made it look cheap. Let's just be honest. So I knew almost immediately after doing them that I wanted to redo it with something nice. So today we're going to use my Cricut Maker 3, and I asked the kids which colors they would want for their labels, and they picked out these smart vinyls. They're in this shimmer. So we've got 3 different colors. We have the red, I have the light blue, and a gold that we're going to be using. If you're new to the Cricut is a smart cutting machine that allows you to create personalized projects just like this with hundreds of materials. And it works with a software that I've got pulled up on my computer called Design Space, and it comes free with your machine. And this is where you can create your projects, and you can browse from hundreds of images, fonts, anything you want to use for your project. Once you've created your design, the Design Space will send it to your machine to cut. So I've just typed in the name on Design Space, I gave it the sizing that I wanted, and it's done the cut for me. So I just used some scissors and I'm gonna cut that out into a smaller piece, and then I'm using this tool here called the weeder, and then we're gonna take out any of the things we don't want to transfer over basically. So I just pull off the material that we don't want, and then you can use the weeder to pull these little centers out of the letters. Then you can take the transfer tape. This is so handy. It makes everything come off all together, like it stays in the perfect spacing. So rather than having to stick on like little individual stickers, it just all comes off together, and then you can lay it out straight because it also has a grid on it. And then you can just transfer it onto whatever you're doing. So today we're doing our laundry baskets. These really are so simple to put together, especially if you're looking to do labels, but you really want to be able to have something a little more, well, let's say a lot more unique than just a standard label maker. You can pretty much choose whatever type of font you'd like, and you can, create labels and names and graphics and all sorts of things on pretty much whatever you want. So whether it's like a water bottle, you can even infuse ink onto mugs. I've done that in a previous video. I did a similar thing to these baskets here, but I labeled my spices for our spice cabinet. I'll link that video down below, as well as up in the cards if you'd like to see it. But I used a little bit more of a, it's like a tall font, and it's called Straight and Simple, or Simple and Straight. One of the two. Anyways, it looked so cute on the spice jars, and I did them in white, so it almost looks like I wrote it in chalk, and then it's on the clear spice jars, and they've got like a bamboo top. Anyways, they turned out really cute. And I did pretty much this exact same thing. I just typed out the names that I wanted on there, and then I had the machine cut it, used the transfer tape to stick it on. And if if you can think it up, you can pretty much make it with the Cricut.
Tell me all of your lies. I will put out all of the fire. If it gets too dark, I'll be your light. Be your light. I'll be your light. If it gets too dark, I'll be your light.
I'm so happy with how these baskets turned out, and I know the kids really like the glitter vinyl that we used. If you're curious about any of the materials or the machine that I used, I'll link them down below, so you can find the materials specifically. And I did want to give you guys a little close-up too on some of the new features of the Maker 3. This little storage compartment down below, super handy for keeping the essentials, and then there's a little bit of storage on the side. The machine is 10 times more powerful than the original Maker, and I feel like just using it on my first project here, I can already tell the difference. It's so fast, and like I said, the Cricut machines are just super versatile. So now we're going to get started cleaning up the kitchen. This is mainly just breakfast mess, like from toast and drinks and things this morning. So I'm just going to get that tidied up before we get started with washing the eggs. And I really feel like with the kitchen, when it's clean, like it's kind of the whole command center for the whole house. When the kitchen's clean, the house just feels less stressful and so much more manageable. So anytime you have, like, let's say 5 minutes just to clean something up, I pretty much would say go with the kitchen.
Slow it down, dreams still yours if you want it.
to share my ultimate secret for getting perfectly cleaned eggs. A lot of people ask this. It's a magic eraser. So when I'm washing the eggs, the first thing I do, especially when they're really muddy, like right now we've got snow in their run, and so whenever they walk through it, they're walking through, they just get muddy because it's wet, and they're walking in and out on snow and on the dirt and all that stuff. So the eggs get especially muddy, and it's really important to soak them first. And then I use that high pressure sprayer just in our kitchen sink. And then the lime green scrubber that I have over there has just a little bit of dish soap. And then I follow that up with, this is a little piece of a magic eraser. And it makes all the difference. Anytime you've got like white eggs or these light green or, the blue eggs, it makes such a big difference when you just use the magic eraser, just like a couple seconds per light colored egg. I don't use it on the speckles because the magic eraser will actually take those off, and I think they really add some fun and character to your egg basket. And same thing with the really dark ones, like the Welsummer eggs. I wouldn't use it on those, but anytime you've got like really light colored eggs that you're selling, for my like eggs that we're using at home, I just use a little bit of soap and water. Like, I'm totally cool with knowing that they're clean. But if you're selling them, and especially if you're selling at a farmer's market where there's lots of options to choose from, and maybe you're, $7, $8, $9, $10 a dozen, whatever, with your costs, if you're really trying to get the most bang for your buck and make a really special, like, clean product in a perfect looking box of eggs, just use the magic eraser, and it totally gets rid of any little muddy stains. I have also had some questions about why I wash the eggs. Here in Oregon, it's the law to wash the eggs before you sell them. So I can't actually, sell them dirty. And then the nice thing about keeping them dirty is that you can just keep an egg basket of eggs on your counter without having to refrigerate them if you haven't washed them. And then once you wash them, you've got to keep them in the refrigerator. But here in Oregon, to sell them, there's some laws about that. So I just have to wash them before I sell them. But if I wanted to, I could just keep a basket of them on the counter. For me though, it's just easier because I'm washing the ones to sell to just do it all together. And, I'm usually the ones that I keep for myself, they'll have like a slight crack or something, not where they're like broken or leaking or anything, but just like if they've hit against each other, or maybe we, dented an egg. That's pretty much the only ones that we keep, and we're able to have eggs consistently for us to use in the fridge. And then the ones that are, perfect and pristine, those are the ones that I bring to the market. But I wouldn't really feel comfortable with ones that have like a slight crack to not clean them off and refrigerate them right away. And, they're just so muddy right now. I like them to be clean. I just sprayed out our egg basket, and I'm actually spraying down our sink. Once I've scrubbed it out with soap and water, I spray it down with hot water, and then I spray in a bleach sanitizer. I'll let that sit for like 10-15 minutes. Usually I'll spray it, crack a window, and then leave the room for a little bit. And then when I come back, I can just kind of spray that down and know that our sink is, not harboring any germs. I remember once hearing that the dirtiest place in your home is the kitchen sink, which totally grossed me out because you'd think the dirtiest place would be like the toilet or something, but it's just you know, statistically, we are washing everything in there. Like, you're washing your hands in there, so any germs from that, any food, people wash meat, like rinse their meat into the sink. And especially if you're hand washing dishes, you don't want to be putting those into like a germ factory. So I think just bleaching the sink after, you know, after I've washed the eggs is a really smart thing to do. Not to mention, it really keeps my white sink clean, which is important too. Just visually, it looks good when it looks clean. This white basket here are the reject eggs. So that one there had like a little crack in it. And this was a double yolker. So it was sad. It's sad because I can't fit some of these giant eggs in there, but we always enjoy them. When we get a double yolker, the kids think it's the coolest thing ever. And it's especially cool that it was like a blue double yolker. So yeah, that white basket there, those are the ones that we save in our refrigerator and that we use for the house. Actually, that's pretty low compared to normal. Usually I've got at least a dozen like at any given time. And then the last thing that I had on my to-do list today was to shovel off the snow from our upper deck. I swear when we build our new house, like we will not build anything up here that doesn't have a covered deck, like no decks uncovered, because this is such a chore. It's quite the workout. Thank you guys so much for coming along with me today. If you enjoy the videos, make sure you give this one a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'd love to hear what you guys are up to down in the comments below. Say hi. And if you'd like to keep the videos going today and get caught up, I will leave some recent videos that we've done in the cards up above so you can check those out. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you again soon. Bye guys.